Touch is a nose boop to the palm of our hand. We can use this as a way to redirect our dog away from something, or just to simply get them warmed up, focused, and ready to work with us.
Good girl. Touch. Close. Yes. Good girl. Coco, touch. Yes. Good girl. Nice. Sit.
For sitting down, we're using a verbal cue and a hand signal. You'll see also that once I reward, I'm often rewarding a second or even a third time. This just encourages her to stay in that sitting down and to not try to hop up and meet us for it, which is common for a lot of dogs, but especially our little dogs. They go ahead a lot of times and try to pop up out of it and catch the treat as we're kind of bending down to give it to them. So we want her to learn, you stay put, the food comes to you where you are. So you can do that by kind of doing the multiple treats. So if she stays there in that position and doesn't move, then she gets a second one or a third one even. For her down hand signal, it's just a flat hand going down towards the ground. Right now, she does still need you to go almost all the way to the ground, just maybe a few inches above the ground. But as you practice, you'll be able to get your hand up higher so that you don't have to bend over forever to tell her to down. You're just going to practice this in slow increments. So you're going to do where she's been doing it, a few inches off the ground, practice like that, then try a little bit higher and practice a little bit of that. And then a little bit higher and a little bit higher each time you practice until eventually you are standing straight up and you don't have to bend over to tell her to down.
Coco, sit. Yes. Coco. Down. Yes, good girl. Nice job, Coco.
For recall, you're going to say, Coco, come. And as soon as she turns to look at you, you're going to say yes. That lets her know she did the right thing, and then begin praising her all the way to you and reward with a treat when she gets there. You can practice this outside in a fenced-in yard or on some kind of long leash or even inside around the house. You're just going to practice calling her, rewarding her, and then letting her go back to doing whatever it is she's doing. 5-10 minutes later, call again, reward. This builds in that kind of random real life practice and her ability to respond in a lot of different scenarios, no matter what she may be doing.
Good girl.
If you call and she doesn't respond right away, the first thing you want to do is give her a couple seconds. Wait 10 seconds or so, give her a chance to respond. If she does, be ready to say yes and praise her. If she does not, you're going to go to what we call a backup, and that's going to be some kind of noise or exciting sound to get her attention. The biggest mistake we can make is calling come over and over again with her not doing it and her learning that word is irrelevant. Leave it means back away from the thing you were heading towards and look at me. So you can practice this with treats like I'm doing here, practicing dropping treats. That's a real life situation where we may drop food that's not safe for them to eat. So you drop the item, you say, leave it. As soon as she backs away and looks at you, yes, and she gets her treat. In real time, you're not likely to have a treat on you in that moment. So what you're going to do is a praise party to the treats like I'm doing here. So you're going to say yes, and then praise and run with her to go get a cookie and reward her. You can practice this in a lot of different ways, in the kitchen, in the living room, also by setting items down and just building that repetition. Drop it means let go of the thing that is in your mouth. So you can practice this in two ways. One is with playing tug. She adored this toy. She loved playing with this and chasing it down like a true little terrier. So you can play tug with her, and then every few minutes or so, ask her to drop it when she lets go of it. Yes, and then you can reward her by giving her a treat and then letting her play with the tug toy again. So you can build this into just your everyday play with her, so that not only is she being nice and like controlled in the way that she plays so it doesn't get out of hand, but also so that it will translate to other items. The other way to practice is when she does have items, even items she's allowed to have. Maybe she has a high value bone or a toy, just kind of building in random practice throughout the day where you tell her to drop it, she lets go, she gets a treat, and then maybe she can go right back to the thing. This just helps, again, build that repetition so that when there is something she shouldn't have, she's had so much practice doing it that it should be easier for her. And just like with leave it, in real time, you're not likely to have a treat on you in the moment. So you're going to say drop it. And then when she does, yes, and praise party all the way to the treats with her, so that she still gets that reward and knows she'll be rewarded for doing those things.
Drop it. Yes, good girl. Nice job. Coco.
Place means go there, sit down, and stay there until released. Her release word is free.
Yes.
So you will stand near the bed, point, and say place. Once she gets on it and sits down, yes, and then the treat is placed on the bed. This is very important because we want her to know that the food comes to her on the bed. Much like we were talking about with sitting down, we don't want her to think she needs to get up and try to meet us for that treat. So you're going to place the treat on the bed so that she knows food comes to her where she is. Then when you're practicing, you can move around, do whatever it is you're trying to do, practice building in distance, distractions, and then duration of time. And then you're just going to come back periodically, reward her again by placing the treat on the bed, and then continue on. And you do not need to give her any other command. She knows that she's not allowed to get up until she hears that word, release word. So you're going to move around, reward her periodically. If she gets up and you did not release her, you're simply going to send her back and continue on. Don't reward when you send her back immediately. So send her back to place, do the thing again you were trying, and then come back and reward. The goal over time is that you're going to build more and more duration between each treat until you don't need so much, or maybe you only need one or two throughout the whole thing, as well as practicing building in different types of distractions. So this can be you doing a task around the house, and you can start small with doing it and then reward, do a little bit more reward, and then build more and more distraction. You can also do silly things like jumping, squatting, dancing, just anything. We want her to know that no matter what's happening, if we've asked her to place, she needs to stay there. So you can see here that squatting down at her level is an invitation to her to come to us. So that was a hard one for her. So I started small. We did that, and then I went back when she got up and we started over. So I did one distraction, rewarded her, did a little bit more until we could build up to me squatting down on the ground. So if there's anything you try that's too hard for her, and if she's getting up, that means the thing is too difficult, then you can break it down into smaller pieces like I did here until she's able to complete the whole thing. And when you're all done, you're going to cue her free, and that means she is free to get up and do whatever, and she does not need a treat reward for that. The reward is you get to get up and move at your own free will. There are two main ways to practice this. One is like what I'm doing in this video, which is what I would call a formal training session, where you're specifically setting aside time to train and build in duration and distance and distractions. The other way to practice is in real time, in situations where you would want her to place. And this for me is often dinner time. So this could be dinner time while you're working at your desk, while you're watching TV. You want her on her place. So you're going to bring the bed near you. You're going to cue her to place, and then periodically reward her throughout. And again, the goal is over time, as you practice more and more, that she will need less treats and you can build more and more duration between. She has done really well with this. And we do this every night at dinner, and she stays pretty much the entire dinner and rarely ever gets up, and often will start to fall asleep at some point. So she's doing really, really great with this one. When you're doing dinner time place, I do recommend using a food that you don't mind touching and touching your own food. So this could be something like string cheese or Cheerios, something that you can touch while you're still eating and then kind of still be periodically rewarding her. This also makes the treat special and higher value and something that she specially gets at dinner time versus her treats that she trains with all the other times. Wait means stop and don't go any further. So when we say wait, we're drawing an imaginary line and telling her she cannot cross it. She can sit, stand, or even walk around, but she cannot cross that line. So what I'm doing here is, I've told her to wait at the stairs, and then I went up the stairs, and then I am periodically rewarding her because I'm trying to build in the duration that she can stay in that wait. And not cross that line. So I'm going to reward her by tossing the treat back behind the line. Again, like the other things we've talked about, we want her to know the food is coming to her where she is, not trying to cross that line to meet us for the reward. And then just like place, when you're ready to release her, you can say free to let her know she can cross that line. This is a really good cue for things like stairs, so she's not tripping you going up and down stairs, you're not stepping on her. And then, of course, at the front door, so that we don't have a dog that is dashing out the front door anytime it's open. So this is a really good one for safety for both you and her. So you're going to cue wait and then free when you're ready to release her. One difference with wait and place is that wait does not need released if you're not going to let her cross the line. So here at the front door, I'm going to cue her wait. And then if I'm not going to actually let her go out the door with me, then I'm never going to release her. I'm going to reward her when I come back in. shut that door, and then move on with my life. I'm not releasing her because I'm not letting her cross that line. And then she, of course, physically cannot cross the line because I have shut the door. If I was going to take her out on a walk, you could tell her wait as you open the door and then release her free to let her know she can go through the door. But if we're just doing picking up a package or anything like that and then coming back inside and we're not letting them cross the line, then we do not have to use the word free.
Yes, good girl. Nice job.
All right, so I'm out on a walk with Coco and we're going to talk about leash walking. So the main thing we're doing, yes, on her leash walks right now is what we call rewarding good choices. So what this looks like is when she is walking the way we want, whether she's walking nicely at our side, maybe a little in front, but the leash is still loose, or she's offering us attention. Yes, we're going to mark yes and reward her right next to us at our side. It's really important that we reward with the hand closest to her. Otherwise, if we cross our body, she'll start meeting us in front instead of at our side. So we want her to know all the good stuff happens. Come on, Coco, right at our side. Yes. So we're periodically rewarding her for doing the thing we like. Right now, in the beginning, you're going to be rewarding kind of like 100% of good choices. And then we're going to slowly wean down to 75, 50, 25, and so on. So as long as she's within length of the leash and walking on a nice loose leash, we're going to be marking yes and rewarding her. Good girl, Coco. Come on. Overall, she's doing really great. She's a confident little girl. So she, isn't nervous about anything out here. Normally the kind of cheering her on is less about her being nervous and more about just kind of getting her moving. She's got those little legs. So, walks are still short and sweet for her and she needs some breaks. Yes, good girl. Good girl. This way. Let's cross this way. Good girl. This way is our cue. Yes. That we're changing directions. Come on. Come on, Coco. Good girl. Good job. Good girl, Coco. Yes. Come here. Good girl. Nice job. So we're just kind of, that's our main thing we're doing here is rewarding her good choices and teaching her to walk right at our side by rewarding her when she is doing what we want. She does have a tendency to try to cross behind. Specifically, for some reason, she wants to walk in the middle of the road. And so if she does start doing that, just kind of encouraging her again, back to the side you want her on. Yes. And then start rewarding again. Good girl. Good girl, Coco. Nice job. If she does want to stop and sniff, we do want to allow that. Of course, it's important for our dogs to get those chances to check out the environment within reason. So we do want to allow time for that. Good girl. Yes. If she is still sniffing and you're ready to move on, our cue is let's go. And that just tells her like, come on, we're moving on. Good girl. Look at you walking so nice, huh? Overall, though, she's doing really great. So it's just going to be, still a little bit of encouragement for her. There you go again, trying to walk behind me in the road. You can't do that. Coco. Yes. Just really teaching her about walking at the side you want and staying there by just how you handle the leash, keeping her on the side and then rewarding. That's going to be the big trick for that. And then just, like I said, right now we're rewarding often. Come on, Coco. Nope, this side, honey. You can't walk in the road. Let's go. Yes, good girl. And then, weaning down from there. Good girl, Coco. Let's go. Come on, Coco. Good girl. Yes, good girl. That's excellent. Yes. Good girl. Nice job. Come on, Coco. And that's a wrap on Coco's training.